Hello, welcome to another episode of The Weeping Prophet by Sister Philomena. So today's topic is when life doesn't make sense. You know, there is always a time for everything in life. A time to love, a time to hate, a time to work for a living, and a time for retirement from active life. A time to build, a time to destroy, a time to live, and of course, a time to die. Among all those times, the particular one that knocks almost every one of their feet is difficult times in form of hardship, what some people call hard times. Now listen to this. First book of John chapter 5:4 said, because every child of God is able to defeat the world and will win the victory over the world by means of our faith. Verse 5 now added that the person who defeats the world is that person who believes that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. No one, believe you me, no one loves hardship, trials, or temptation. And that is exactly when things in life doesn't make sense at all. When all remedies to the problem have been done, but still they are not adding at all. When a step forward produces 10 steps backwards, in that case, we spent our resources struggling to understand every single thing that happened in our lives. We try to make sense of what doesn't make sense. We start pointing, accusing fingers 360 degrees. And when we are tired, we tend to ignore it and comfort ourselves with our beliefs. You know this particular words from the believers. It is well with my soul. But when you sleep and wake up the next morning, Mr. Reality stares at you. The problem is there. And when not solved, it brings about complex problems in such a way that some people give up fighting and succumb. Such things like unfairness, tragic events, disappointments, failed marriages, divorces, and the list goes on. And you know, it is more painful when we have no solid answers for why those things should occur. And worse are the pains when it is preventable. Some blame themselves at the end. No matter how careful we drive, accidents are about to happen on our roads. Most times we have nothing to do with it, but it happens. For an example, you drive good, but the driver of the other vehicle is such a horrible driver. You are faithful to your husband and you have ease without knowing that your hubby sleeps with everything unscathed. The doctor prepared his operation well, and at the middle of a very complicated OP, there was a power failure and the patient dies. No matter how beautiful, well-mannered and responsible you are, when your husband comes home with a silly excuse of having a child outside marriage, it breaks hearts. Shit do happen, they say. Now let's face the facts. It is more painful to know that God sees all this happen to us. Some will ask, Onozikwome, is God still alive? And all those are happening. It is difficult to understand what God is doing, especially when life doesn't make sense, when nothing adds at all. Believe you me, at that point, with that situation, your faith as a Christian is put to test. Deuteronomy 8:13 says, be completely faithful to God. All you need at that situation in life is Jesus Christ. His words in your life, your faith in him should strengthen you. No matter how long a day may be, night will surely come. Even you are young. You are not growing old. It means that every problem have an expiring date. Do just like Job. Follow faithfully the road that God chooses and never wander to either left or right. There should be no side distractions. The book of Psalm 27:14 says, trust in the Lord, have faith, do not despair. Trust in the Lord. Let Psalm 89:2 comfort you. It says, I know that your love will last for all time and that your faithfulness is as permanent as the sky. Brothers and sisters, always remember this. In all your ways, acknowledge God. Never look for alternative to God because there are none. Never turn to Maggie or any of its equivalents because of those problems. If you do, it is like adding fuel to fire. Listen to what Psalm 106 verse 39 says. They made themselves impure by their actions and were unfaithful to God. Psalm 112 verse 7 now said, we should not be afraid of receiving bad news. Our faith should be strong and that we should do what? Trust God. Trust God even when your situation doesn't make sense. Read in between lines. That problem is opening new life chapter for you. Sometimes what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. What the enemy thinks he will use to kill or destroy you. Listen to this. God takes it, uses it to make you stronger. And finally, he blesses you with that. I call God the God of turnaround. Remember that God was watching when Daniel was thrown into the den of lions. God used that situation to bring glory to his name and change Daniel's story from that moment. That problem can also be an instrument leading you to your glory and also to the glory of God. Trust God even when life's equations are unsolved or imbalanced. Trust God even when life doesn't make sense. From Sister Philomena, the Weeping Prophet. God bless you.